Hey, everybody, good morning. Today is a great day that the Lord has made, and I shall rejoice and I shall be glad. And just, feeling the joy of the Lord today. And excuse me, I absolutely love it. And so we're going to get into Malachi 3 today. We got Malachi 4 tomorrow. We'll finish out our months-long study of the Old Testament prophets. And just to reiterate something I said yesterday, this message is also going to be passed on to the ladies. Billy is not feeling well, needs to take a few days off. So please pray for us. But Malachi 3, and when we're done tomorrow, Malachi 4 will be the last day. And starting on Monday, we're going to jump into the Song of Solomon, which is going to be a great study. I'm really looking forward to that. But Malachi 3, my Bible starts it off with the coming messenger. Then it says, do not rob God. The people complain harshly, and a book of remembrance. Okay. We see the coming messenger. We see that God is prophesying his return, and he's prophesying John the Baptist will come and make the way. But he's also seeing that when we look down into verse 2, it says that he is like a refiner's fire and like a launderer's soap. So I believe that this is referring to an even further, an even distant time, where God is actually going to burn us off, and the only thing that's going to remain is righteous. How do I know that? He actually says that in verse 3. He says that they may offer to the Lord an offering in righteousness. So it's just righteousness is the only thing that's going to remain. But as you keep scrolling down, he says... But there are people, they have in verse 7, you've gone away from my ordinances. He says, return to me and I will return to you. But you say, in what way shall we return? These are people who believe that they're keeping the law and they're living that correct life. They say, but in what way? In what way? And God says, listen up, I'm going to go ahead and show you. And verse 8, he says, will a man rob God? It goes down to saying tithes and offerings. You're cursed with a curse. He says, bring all the tithes into the storehouse that there may be food in my house. And what God is saying here, he's saying, listen, I have filled your house with food. Will you make sure that my house is filled with food so that I may go and feed some others? Or are you just going to keep it all for yourself and be greedy? You see, God's talking to people that are being blessed by him, but they keep it all for themselves. You see, God he wants us to give. He wants us to make an offering. You say, Donnie, that's Old Testament. No, this is principles of God. When you give back what God gives to you, when you give something back to him, he can then take it and bless it and give even more back to you. He can take it and bless it and give it to somebody else. You see, what you have, he used to possess. He wants that to go to somebody else as well. He wants to share. Okay, our government is trying to do a great job of raising our taxes and sharing the money that we're earning. Yet God freely gives and you won't share that? Where the government freely takes and you're like, okay. Government doesn't give it back to you. God does. It's God saying, please, you're robbing me in tithes and offerings. And he goes down to say, people complain harshly. Your words have been harsh against me. You see, what he wants is he wants people that are going to serve, okay? When you go ahead and you read down into this, he says, so now we call the proud blessed. For those who do wickedness are raised up. They even tempt God and go free. Listen, we call the proud blessed. Listen, there are many prideful leaders out there. And you know what happens with prideful leaders? They raise up prideful leaders. Okay, they teach people to be like them. So as we're all leaders in our own right. We need to remember that we are raising up people who be like us, people who will be like us. As we look at Genesis 1:7 tells us that we are made in the image of God. In the image of God we are made. You see, so we are made after our fathers. Okay, and we as fathers, as mothers, spiritual fathers, spiritual mothers, we will raise up children that look like us. Do you want them to be prideful? Do you want them to be givers? Who do you want them to be? You want them to be people that chase after God. I try with all my heart, as I am discipling, I try with all my heart to just point them to Christ, because I have no answers. Christ does. And I really encourage everybody to serve. And then he goes on to a book of remembrance. He says, we need to share the Lord with each other. We need to meditate on his words. We need to meditate on the great things that he has done. And meditate let me just put it to you this way. It's a fancy word for think. We need to just go ahead and think upon the great things of God. Think upon, his goodness, and think upon just who he is. Not all the great things he's done, because all the great things he's done is just a byproduct of who he really is. He really is the creator of the universe. He really is healer. He is healer. It's not something he does. He is healer. He really is joy. That's just who he is. He really is provider. He really is protector. He really is righteous. He really is holy. Those are the things we need to share, and we need non-believers to hear it. So, hey, guys, girls, I hope you have a super wonderfully blessed rest of this day, and we'll finish this out tomorrow.